Hi everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel Electro Study. This is lecture series 11 Computer Networks dealing with CSMA, CA and CD. Please do like, share, comment and subscribe. Come let's go into the video. CSMA CD. So in last video we have seen what is CSMA, carrier sense multiple access. Now with that another one is added CD. So carrier sense multiple access with collision detection. So till now in Aloha and CSMA we have seen how collision is taking place when a frame is sent from one station to the another station. But we have not thought about how to prevent this collision or how to detect this collision. So now CSMA CD is telling us how the collision can be detected. So here consider four nodes A, B, C and D. Now, under transmission time T1, the A station is sending a bit to the final station. At the same time, the station C is sending frames at the both the ends. To the A also it is sending, to D also it is sending. So at time T3 it is sending to D, and at time T4 it is sending the frame to the A station. Now when it is sending to the A station and A is transmitting the frame to the D station, somewhere in between the collision is happening, because more or less at the same time it is sending. So it is detected that at one point of time the collision is occurred. So now once the collision has occurred, it is being detected. So that collision, when it is detected, it is found and it is told that the collision occurs that will be equal to T3 minus T2. So the transmission time between these two only the collision has occurred. So now collision is occurred. What happens? As soon as the collision occurs only, the system has to abort sending the frames to the different station. So here when it is detected that the collision is occurring to the frame that is sent from C station, it aborts here. It tells that it will give negative acknowledgement that the frame is lost. It is not received. So once the collision occurring is detected here it aborts, and the same time the other station also aborts the frame sent from the A, telling that the frame sent from A is lost. So this is how it is detected and aborted. The system is aborting the frame to travel. Now I will tell you how it is taking place. So at the start, you are sending the frame. Now you are setting a collision number. Now I am setting the collision number as n is equal to 0. After setting this collision number, you are checking for the carrier whether it is sensing the channel or not. So when it is sensing the carrier, if it is idle, if suppose the transmitting channel is idle, then if it is positive, it is entering into a frame gap, that is for the wait. It will wait for some time. If it is no, then it will again start the sensing. It continue the sensing of the frame whether it is formed or not. So once if it enters to the into the wait time, it will start transmitting the frame. Now after starting the transmitting the frame, it should check for collision, right? So now collision is checked whether the collision has happened at any point. If suppose collision has happened, then it will send a signal, it will send a jam signal, that is it will abort. Once the jam signal is sent, the frame sending to the other station is aborted. If there is no collision, successfully the data is transmitted. So after the jump signal, the increment of collision number takes place. That is, again some other frame is formed. It will continue until the limit is reached, until some propagation time. So when the limit is reached, it will abort the system. If it is not reached, it will keep on selecting the next frame after sensing, and it will wait for some time, and if it is idle, it will start transmitting the frames to the other station. So this process will continue until the limit is reaching. Next is CSMA CA. So CD we said collision detection. Now CA is collision avoidance. Now the collision is detected and aborted, you're aborting the system. Now how to avoid? So for that you have three methods: interframe space, contention window, acknowledgement. What is this three methods? Don't wonder. It is actually as simple as we have already seen in CSMA. So this interframe space is nothing but the wait time. So here it is forming a frame. A wait time is forming a frame itself, telling that it is idle. Or once if it is found idle, it will only start sending frame. So for how much time it is sending the frame, to detect that, it is called as interframe space. So once if this interframe space is detected, you can know when the frame is transmitting, when it is idle. Contention window is nothing but this frame is passed to the station. Now it is checking for collision. If it is not colliding, it is sent back to the station. That is, it is sent to the end station. If suppose collision occurs, binary exponential of the frame will be formed. So for each and every window, if collision happens, the binary exponential of the frame will start expanding. The size of the frame will start expanding twice, or binary exponential. So once it is reached, it is the receiver's thing to send an acknowledgement, positive acknowledgement, telling that the frame is received. So here you are starting the frame, sending the frame. Before only you will set a set back off to 0. That is, back off time will be 0. There will be no wait. It will be 0. Now it is following some persistence strategy. So under persistence strategy, it will follow any persistence. Let it be 1 persistent, P persistent, or non-persistent. Whichever it requires for that transmission, it takes that persistent method, and it will wait for the interframe services. So it will send a request signal. Now when it is sending a request signal, it will start the timer to check when the request signal is sent. Now the frame is ready or not, when to send. Now when you find you have got clearance to send the signal, then if it is S, it will start calculating the interframe. It will start sending the frame. It will again set a timer. It will again ask for the clearance. If all these are satisfied, then the signal will be transmitted successfully. If suppose if the acknowledgement is not received, or if the clear to the send demand is not received, then increment of back off. That is, it will again wait for the frame to be sensed. After waiting, it will have again a back off time limit. Until it reaches, you can again and again give persistent strategy, wait for the signal, and again transmit. If suppose if the limit is reached, then it will abort the system. Understood how CSMA and CSCD is detecting and avoiding the collision to happen? Hope you understood. Thank you. Stay tuned for more information.